We've got Tim Knight on the line, and it was a haven of selling in the morning. Tim, were you able to capture some of that?
Yes, I was. This is one of those. This is so rare. I have been covering left and right, and so the circumstance is there were two kind of chart circumstances that compelled me to give me a good reason to get out. One was the ES was just almost perfectly at what has been support for the past couple of weeks, and two, if you draw a channel on the SMH all the way from March to present, there's a midline and it like tagged it perfectly. It's like, that's it, I'm out. So I got rid of my SMH puts, and I all the stuff I had crazy profits on, like Micron and Seagate and WDC, and it just like cover as fast as my fingers could go. So I started the day like 180% committed. That is like all cash and like 80% beyond that with margin. I'm down to 115. So I've taken profits on all the most aggressive stuff, and it's one of those happy days where it's like, I feel I've done the right thing, and I've got plenty of dry powder for next week. And normally I'd be really grumpy that this sell-off is unwinding so quickly. But the broad message I've got for our viewers is, I think next week, I don't know when exactly, but sometime next week, for those bears out there, it'll be a great time to reload, even better than what we just saw.
In the meantime, it's time to get long. Yeah.
I bought something just before we went on the air. Believe it or not, I actually bought something. Yeah.
I teased this convo with you earlier in the morning because you were saying, I thought, some pretty interesting stuff yesterday. You were like, it seems to be getting close to a time to cover, and you're absolutely right. I mean, this morning was probably the cover because, like we've shown, a lot of these names have gotten rocked, and there's probably still more to go. But in the meantime, it was kind of getting to a point where it was almost overdone.
Yeah, no, when we spoke yesterday, I kind of knew anything I covered I'd regret, which I did. I didn't cover much, and they just kept falling. And the other sort of insight I had last night, which I have no intention of getting rid of, was I thought China was ready for some sinkage, because they've been sort of enjoying while our tech has been falling, they've been rising, and I thought yesterday enough was enough, so I loaded up on September FXI $36 puts. And those I'm keeping, even though we're seeing there's hardly any bounce at all at FXI. Yeah, so let's dive in. You're right. Time for charts and time for them quickly. My finger's in a fast mood now because I've been covering so much. So Diamond, I love this chart. We've broken it and we're rallying and we're coming right up against the trend line. So crazy as it sounds, right about now might be a great time to get short the diamonds because we've broken it and it's mushed right up against that. I'm short, but my stop's a little looser than that. It's up here. Small caps have also broken here again, rallied up to the trend line. This is why I'm excited, because a lot of failures are going on, but they're presenting opportunities. I think the stuff like semiconductors is too deep right now, and wait till next week. But things like this, I think, are ripe for the plucking. EEM, emerging markets, South Korea, I think a big part of this. You can see there's a lot of green bars going on. Week opens and presently rallying, but watch these kinds of levels. Watch that gap that took place between yesterday and today. I think that's going to be our exhaustion point. Here's South Korea itself, EWY, another green bar. We're actually up a little bit, but more broadly speaking, something like this. I want to emphasize. Yes, we're recovering. Yes, I think we'll keep pushing higher today, but it will not be long until I think there's fresh opportunities there. My big play yesterday was China. I was sort of emphatic about this. I think I described it as an irresponsibly large number of puts on this, and we're down about 1.5%. You can see we'd been rallying, sort of taking up all the selling that was going on in the U.S. became buying in China. Because the theme lately has been Chinese AI is cheap, so they will win the market. So that's been rallying right up to that monster blob of overhead supply. So I'm hanging on to that. Within that, Baidu, short that's down about 3.5%. Alibaba, this is down over 2%. Hanging on to that as well. Poor old SpaceX, lifetime low again. I watched the scrubbed rocket launch last night, and instantly, the moment they scrubbed it, went bleh. This will probably kind of cough and wheeze its way back up, but not terribly much. It's going to take a lot in the months ahead to get this even above kind of that 150 level. The cubes have snapped below that pretty little symmetric triangle there, and we're rallying. But I say again, got to pound the table here. The closer we get to the underbelly of that, the more alluring an opportunity I think it'll be get bearish again. But I've been covering like crazy things like, Applied Materials, Creative Technologies. These are all fantastic medium-term charts, but short-term, I think they've bottomed. Nokia took profits on this one. Just beautiful, beautiful tumbles on these. ST Microelectronics, we've looked at these every day. I'll just whip out a quick rectangle in this just to illustrate the kind of thing I'm talking about. Undo the selling from yesterday and today, you've got a new opportunity on your hands as it is now taking profits. AXTI, another terrific one, just falling for weeks there, really needs to rally, get rid of that some oversold state. Sienna, another good example. I know these are coming fast, but there's just a lot out there. Lumentum, LITE, same deal. Got a nice, I'll widen this a bit. It's actually a broader overhead supply like so. Pushing back toward the underbelly of that, I think will make another opportunity as well. Marvell, another beauty right there. And a couple of last ones. Micron, which has been terrific. This is actually green, and that's probably going to fight its way back up to, as I said, yesterday and today are kind of the washout. I think if we can get to kind of where we were at the bottom of Wednesday's bar, and we could be ready to roll on Monday. It won't take much. And then STX, another terrific pattern, cute little head and shoulders there. But you can definitely see a rally back to that neckline. But as I said, the kind of, sometimes I really struggle with when to take profits, but it was relatively easy this morning because I was looking at the likes of SMH and medium term, that is to say, measured in weeks, it's a fantastic pattern. It's done. We're ready to rock and roll on this. Short term, I'm out, taking profits, waiting for a next opportunity to reload, which could be measured in hours, not weeks. Because the exciting thing, and I'll just close with this, is that this range we've been tracking all this time with the NQ finally snapped between yesterday and today. We're below it. And so now what was support has now become resistance. So I've gone from 40 positions to 29, but I have every intention of getting nasty again as the prices lift up.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear you say you struggle with taking profits. I'm actually the same way, and so it doesn't really matter whether you're long or short. It can be a thing for sure.
Every sentient being, I think, struggles with that because we all know nothing hurts worse than watching your well-chosen position keep doing what you said it would do, and you're not.
I know, right? I know, right? But there's always ways to reestablish, and like you said, in your case, you think next week will be an interesting week to reestablish positions. So
yeah, and earnings are going to start coming at us like a waterfall.
100%. Tim, appreciate your time. And yeah, we'll see if this thing reverses. It's been an insane rally from the lows, but yeah, we'll see you a little bit later.